Alrighty, the West Tigers back into the 8. How good are the Tigers going? West Tigers 20 defeat the Newcastle Knights 4. They're struggling for points. The Newcastle Knights, they played the Gold Coast, scored a junk time try later on. They got held scoreless against Canterbury, and then same applied against the West Tigers, a junk time try. So they are really battling when it comes to scoring points. Kicking still an issue for the Tigers. They've only converted 3 of their last 9, but the Knights have now lost 3 in a row, Brian. They are in a bit of trouble. 26,000. There's such a loyal crew up there in the Hunter. And, well, here's a crap stat for you, Gibbo. Let's crap stat this.
Crap stat. Crap stat.
5 players. So we are heading into round 7. Admittedly, they have had a bye. But 5 players have more points alone than Newcastle. Garrick, Asako, Pappy, Reynolds and Fogarty have all got individually more points than the Newcastle Knights.
Yeah, it's worrying, isn't it? You stop KP, you stop Newcastle, and that's what everyone was saying a couple of years ago, and it's even more evident now.
Yep.
He's not in the best of form, Kalen, but it's not his fault. It all stems from their forwards. Their forward pack's getting dominated, and it's not allowing them to have any sort of attacking prowess. They sort of... Jack Cogger's not there.
No.
Dylan Lucas has been missing.
Hetherington's been out. There's a lot of
Elliott's
people out.
There is a lot of excuses.
Yeah.
I thought against Canterbury they defended really well, and it just seemed to me that they put all their energy in defence. By the time they got the ball, they were out of gas. And this young West Tigers backline is starting to gain momentum. If they can keep that side in, they can do some damage.
On the positive for the Newcastle Knights, their defence is amongst the top handful. So whilst they're not scoring,
they seem to put a lot of effort into their defence, but on the other side of the ball, it's just not happening for them.
Warriors' winning streak came to a shuddering halt. They had a tough time against the Melbourne Storm. I like what Vossi said. The Warriors haven't beaten the Melbourne Storm in a lot of editions of the iPhone. There's been a lot of updates since they've won. It's 17 in a row.
Is that 17 years, or they would have played a couple of times?
17 games.
Yeah, but I'm saying, is that over?
It'd have to be close to a
years?
decade. Yeah, close to a decade.
Well, this is the thing with Melbourne. They've been doing it for so long. When you play down there, especially on a day game, they're going to come out quick.
Yep.
And you talk about it all week, and you say, "Righto, we've got to start fast," so you know it's coming, but it's so hard to stop it.
Oh.
When they were on that roll, it's not the first time they've done it, and it won't be the last.
No.
You know what they're going to do, but you can't stop it. Their timing from where it goes from Harry Grant to either Cameron Munster or Hughes on that edge, everything's so crisp, and their back rowers run. If you're a young back rower, watch what Eli Katoa does, how good his timing is. It looks like he's going to get the ball because he's selling it so well.
Yep.
Maybe he thinks he's going to get the ball. Maybe Jerome just lies to him. He says, mate, hit that hole outside.
I reckon that's true.
Mate, I'm going to put you through here, so get ready. And then just at the last minute, he lies to him, and the decoy is so well run that you can't stop it.
Matty John said to us last week that he would do coaching, and they'd say, not this bloody drill again. But there's doing a drill, and there's doing it with perfection. So if both Eli Katoa is running to go through, and so he's the lead runner, for example, and then the guy at the back, then they don't know if they're getting it.
No.
And so it's a truly executed play.
Yeah, but it seems that Sean Bloor does it as well.
Yep.
So whether or not they know they're getting it or they don't, maybe that's the option. They're just saying, listen, but just be prepared because I may hit you here.
Yeah.
But far out, they get off the back fence and they run with so much vigour that when you're defending, you go, oh gosh, I've got to stop Ellie here.
Yeah.
Because my back rower's got him. If I'm a 5'8", I've got to help him. And then as soon as you take that one step in, you're gone because Pappy's too quick.
Too quick. Too quick, too good. 1300 01 1170. Pappy's flying. It's rugby league is flying when that beautiful blonde mane of Ryan Pappenhausen is flying. So Tourist tells me July 12th, 2015, since the Warriors won 28 points to 14. So and they are really struggling when it comes to depth, when it comes to hyphenated names. They have a DWZ sidelined. They lost an AFB to the Sharks. JFH is now sidelined. CNK is sidelined. RTS is sidelined.
Yeah.
They are under siege for all things hyphens, Brian.
Yeah, I love a hyphen. I love a hyphen.
And TMM.
TMM's might be going over.
To SL. Is that right?
Is he going to...
Is he going to Super League?
talk.
Yeah.
Super League talk.
Yeah.
He's been killing it in New South Wales Cup, but
Yeah,
so does every Warriors player because they're killing it.
Can't get a start. Well, it was good to see Desert back.
Rocco Berry,
the
Good to
Desert.
see him back.
Yep.
it snuck in a try. Too. What
did.
side was he playing in, Joel?
Mate, I was very lucky there. So my tips, Brian, they were just all finding a way over the line. And my rationale was left centre's score against the Melbourne Storm.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Rocco Berry's going to be there.
We played right.
Played right wing, didn't he?
No, he played. He scored the try on the wing because there was. I think there might have been.
He
an
went the
injury,
other side.
but it was like it dribbled in.
You got to take
he
him.
somehow just jumps over
Yeah.
a couple of players and puts it in just before the try
Yeah.
line. But they don't paint pictures, right, Joel?
No, they don't draw pictures, Gibbo. And well done to the punters who got around that chance. You're about to lose. Free confidential support. Visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Rocco Berry's got a one-match game after that. Scope and Jimmy on the Munster head knock. So Cam Munster was not charged for a head knock in the game. The reasoning behind the penalty left Scope and Jimmy on SEN League absolutely baffled.
Captain's challenge on the high tackle. Your
Cameron
kid.
Munster makes indirect but low force to the head. The captain's challenge is
Please stop. What is that description? What did he say? Indirect but low force. That's as light as you can get.
That is-
indirect low force. I'm going to write that down.
Can someone clip that up?
Jules,
What is happening with these referees?
indirect but low force. It's not the referees, mate.
He hit the ball first,
It's
and
not
then
the
he didn't even.
referees. It's not, that must come from that's
Yeah.
that's the body. That's the NRL. Indirect but low force.
But the good news, Scopey, we did clip it up. There you go. We did clip it up, didn't we, Brian?
Indirect low force. That's confusing me.
That's confusing.
Are you sure you haven't been in the over? You know how you're moonlighting over at Sportsbet? Are you moonlighting in the commission as well?
No.
With the rules committee?
No, I'm
that
not,
sounds
mate.
something like you'd come up with.
Indirect and low,
Low force and on the
moon. No, I haven't. The Roosters.
Yeah,
26
come the
defeat the
Roosters.
Broncos 16. If they're going to win, they like to win big against big teams, the Roosters. Geez, they're hard to pick. Big games only for the Chookies. They've beaten the Panthers. They've beaten the Broncos. And I tell you what, so glad to see this bloke back. And he just seems to correlate with performances for the Roosters. Billy Smith.
Billy Smith, he's a gun.
Yep, and he's suspended, I think, Gibbo, isn't he?
He's a gun, yeah. That was nothing in that either. He was falling, mitigating, all that sort of jazz. You can see why the Roosters have stuck with him because he's been. And now I'm hoping he's now growing into this body.
Yep.
This beautiful athletic body he's got because he's got a little bit of class about him.
Yep, a lot of class about him. The 2 tries he scored, freakish catch under a kick.
Total opposite,
versus
wasn't
Walsh,
it? Yeah.
and then the big, that was a rude bounce.
That
Found
was
a way.
That was a rude bounce. So if you're a Roosters fan, you know there are some green shoots. I think that was a better win than the Panthers win.
Yep.
There was one play. There was a play that turned the game for me because they were under the pump. It was 2016 with about 15, 14 minutes to go, and the Broncos were flying off their line. It was about tackle 3.
Yep.
And Siwa Wong got the ball, went to short side, sort of was standing up. And they were about to get it, and he offloaded it to, I think it was Rabbitohs, who then found Teddy inside. Off they went. Nat Butcher scored right next to the post.
Yep.
Game over. And they have to do that. They have to sort of play a little bit different because it's a totally different team to last year.
I agree.
So you've got to risk it a little bit.
Yep. Raiders are doing something similar.
If he didn't do that offload, it's tackle 4. Actually, it would have been tackle 5. They're in their own 30. Brisbane were coming for him, but they let the air out of the balloon there with their defence, the Broncos, and Nat Butcher went and scored, and that was the end of the game.
Over the course of time, you cannot out-staring comp Melbourne Storm and those teams.
No.
Right? If you've got, with the greatest respect to some of those players at the Roosters, they're good players, but inferior to what Bellamy has.
Correct. You can't do
you
those.
can't be a poor imitation, can you?
You can't do those block for block, slide out, because it just doesn't work when you go sideways against those good teams. You need something like this.
Raiders, I'm telling you now, Raiders could, I'm not saying they will, they could make the grand final.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
Because they're so tough and they just throw something different at you. Like
and big and fast.
They could make the grand final. I'm not saying they will, but they absolutely could.
Like Hudson Young now is the form back rower.
Yep.
The form back rower.
They got the form pack.
But I don't feel that they'll pick him.
Okay, you know what? I think the NFL do this. Maybe it's not a most improved, but a comeback player. Sebastian Chris is flying.
Gun.
Flying.
I didn't realise how big. I'm sorry. I realised how big he is. I didn't realise he was that fast
Quick.
as well. He hasn't been. No one's when he's in the clear.
No.
I can't remember he's been mowed down by anyone.
No, Ethan Strange just
And he
keeps
loves
getting better.
Motown.
He does.
Well spoken as well,
Is he?
Seb Chris, because I think a couple of years ago he was going to give the game up. So he took some time away. I think he then came back through reserve grade and then finally got a spot in the side. And he's just unbelievable. He's sort of like Jordan Rapana in a way where, you know, the energetic barometer of a team.
Yeah.
When he's up, he's flying, he's putting big hits on, big runs, and he's just got that smile like a Cheshire cat, Joel.
Yeah,
and
he
a rat
does.
and a rat's tail too.
Oh, but
Anyone with a rat's tail, they're a bit like the redheads. Don't mess with them.
nah, I reckon he's as lighter as he's ever been. He looks fit. He's
You feel it like he runs like he doesn't have the high motion with his legs. He's got
on eggshells.
yeah, just like
Corey Pearson.
like Beau Fermeur,
Yeah.
like little
Pig trotters.
little pig trotter legs, just going.
How about Savage?
Oh yeah,
Xavier Savage, and Ricky Stewart sort of spoke about development and how he held Xavier Savage back for a few years. People saying play him at fullback. He wanted to play him on the wing. He held him in New South Wales Cup, and he's really just enjoying the fruits of his labour.
Tamale. What a pickup.
Tamale from the Dragons as
Yeah.
well. Like the Dragons,
So why couldn't they? Like honestly, if you went through everything,
halves.
why couldn't they? No, well,
Fogarty gets injured.
yeah,
You
but
talk
if
about-
anyone gets injured, like,
yeah, but I think they're better equipped now. They've got Ethan Sanders, who's apparently braining it.
yeah.
I think that's why they're going to let him go.
Well, they said 1
Fogarty.
year. They just want to give him one more
year,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they might have to bring that forward.
Starling's flying. Sharkies 24 defeat the Seagulls 18. Sharkies stopped the slide. Here's Craig Fitzgibbon on Kennedy's no try. Geez, I felt for him. That was a great
try.
best no try of the year. I'll say that much.
I wasn't worried because of the way we're playing, but I think it's like that's a bad call. Like I don't know if I'm allowed to say that anymore. That's like I don't understand that. Like what the very next kick they do exactly the same thing to us. Why is that not a penalty? Because we don't score. Like I don't understand that. But that's not to say that was going to be a decider for us either. We've been working hard enough for that. You get a call like that, you can't let it affect your game. We just got to get back to business.
So, Brian, I was checking scores. I was at the races hosting an event out there. And
Bruce. Is that a bruise?
Probably.
Yeah, it's a bruise. There we go.
Probably. Anyway, I just thought the whole time they looked in control on the scoreboard. And then I watched the replay. A minute to go, Manly could have tied the game.
Yeah. With the first half, there wasn't many points scored. I don't think they scored until the 35th minute. It was quite the tussle. You could see how much it meant to them because, you got to win these games because they're going to be in the top half of the 8.
4 point swings, those games.
Yeah. The Labour.
Yeah. Yes.
The Labour.
Absolutely. So the Seagulls, they're suffering. Easy to say it's the DCE distraction. Is it the DCE distraction?
I feel it is. He had a quiet game.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, Lehigh is a gun.
Yep.
But he just doesn't have that. I suppose he doesn't have the nous, the ball playing nous just yet of Tommy.
But you also
Tommy knows when to inject himself.
You also lose him from the wing, right? So in the time that he's gone back to fullback, Grant Atkins got a hat trick. Grant Anderson got a hat trick, and 2 tries to Stone Street. So you
he was good, Stone Street.
He's very good. He's going great. Seagulls next 3. They've got the Dragons at home, Panthers away, Sharks at home. So they meet the Sharks again in only about 3 weeks.
You can't tell me it's not a distraction. It is.
It has to be.
It is a distraction for DCE because you could see the pain in Jake Trebojevic when he was saying, "I would never do this. I can't do this." So if he's saying that publicly, what's he thinking internally? What's he saying to DCE? It is a distraction, no doubt.
Seabold, he'd be just filthy with the timing of all of this. He lost Tommy on the same week the DCE stuff blew up. Raiders smashed the Eels 50-12. That was in a very warm, humid Darwin. The Eels, no Zach Lomax. Where do they get their next win? They've got the West Tigers at CommBank Stadium. Usually a good clash, that one. Yep. They've got the bye round 8, Sharks at Magic Round. Dolphins at CommBank Stadium, Knights at McDonald Jones. So not the hardest draw. I think many people would take that kind of draw. West Tigers, bye, Sharks, Dolphins, Knights.
Is there rumours or mail that he's back this week, Mitch Moses?
Gibbo, you're the one. You pretty much you like your ducks and drapes. What's happening out there?
Oh, I love my ducks and drapes, Joel. I mean, the whole thing has been a bit weird. Like, we thought he was coming back earlier. Look, maybe it's a Easter miracle.
Yeah.
Moses.
Then we heard it was re-broken. He needs another operation. That's gone out the window.
He has. I mean, look, I think the Eels need something to jolt their season. They got the victory. Zach Lomax injured. Dean Hawkins, a lot of try causes around him, Joel. A lot of try causes.
Here you go, Cromie.
Crow you?
Mitch Moses, if he's back, they win. If Mitch Moses is back, he wins.
Well, Lockie Galvin's statement game, DCE, you know, the week after he signed, they put on a cricket score against Parramatta, wasn't it?
You just get those players again in the dressing room and it just brings everyone up.
That's right.
You just go, oh, Mitch Moses is back.
Yep, here we go,
Mitch
boys.
Moses is back. He's going to find the ground. We're going to get down there.
Yep.
Our defence is going to be... It's
knows?
just one of those... He's one of those players where you walk in to the dressing room, you just go, yeah.
I could easily see, now that you say that and have me thinking about it, when he comes back, I can see Dylan Brown having a day out.
Correct.
Yeah.
And Iongi having a day out.
Iongi having a day out.
And for whatever reason it is, everyone just lifts up that little bit more. They improve a little bit.
What's that saying you say about ships and tides or something?
I came up with this saying a long time ago that some of the best gifts,
Oh, really?
yeah, rise rapidly with the incoming tide.
That's a good one. I quite like that. Cowboys and the Bunnies. Cowboys 24 defeat the Bunnies 16. UGLY was the win for the Cowboys. No need for an alibi, but they got the points. Ewan Aiken, good to have him back in rugby league for South Sydney. He scores a try for them. Jackson Purdue, I tell you what, this kid can play, Brian.
Yeah, he's quick.
Yeah.
Reece Robson, best player on the field.
Yep.
If he doesn't play, they don't win.
No.
He was brilliant.
He was brilliant. What do you do with Latrell?
You got to keep him there now.
Well, Dodd had a week suspension, I think, New South Wales Cup. You're the doyen of New South Wales Cup, Gibbo, is he?
Yeah, week off last week, so he's available for selection this week.
We said he wasn't going to play this year.
Well,
we
I
did say
mean,
that.
Sullivan's out for a week.
So it's now or never, isn't it?
Well, yeah, if they don't pick him,
No, see you
he's
later.
cast.
See you
You'd
later.
think, though, if Cody Walker was going to come back, it's for Good Friday clash against the Bulldogs. I think the casualty ward has him listed as round 8, but
Could be coming back. Was it calf or hemi?
calf, I think. One of the two.
Latrell was solid without being spectacular. He laid on 2 tries. Just want to see him run more.
Yeah, I just want to see him in the centres. I just think he's a
Kicking games.
superstar in the
He's kicking
centres,
games.
particularly till he gets a bit fitter. No charge for Jack Whiten for that alleged hip drop.
That was an absolute joke.
Good, I agree with that. Wayne Bennett, what did you think about that?
Yeah, well, I think anybody that's ever been in rugby league would not agree that was a hip drop tackle. So, what's he supposed to do? Touch him and let him under the try line? Because that's where he was heading. And the tackle from behind, it was as simple as that. It was no more than that. Good tackle, by the way. Really good tackle.
It is.
was. Good tackle.
If he goes legs, if he tackles him around the ankles, he scores.
Yeah.
He was actually going for the ball. You could see what he was trying to do. He was trying to knock the ball, or trying to hold his arm up, and he just fell on the back of him. In what world do these people in the match review committee or the bunker? Wayne's right.
Yeah.
Unless you have been playing the game, maybe they have, the bunker people, been playing the game. I can't see that. There's no other option of what you can do. The whole object of defence...
If he takes him low, he scores, right? So it was
The
only...
whole object of defence
Yep.
is to stop the ball going over the line in any way possible.
Yep.
I remember Gus used to say, look, if you can't tackle anyone, just stand in front of them.
Yep.
Which I did mostly.
I keep saying this, Brian. I had a far better step in defence than I did in attack. I was very good at getting out of the road. Dragons 38 defeat the Titans 16, but the big story out of that was it's back. Show me the money.
Him. I got no problem with
What
it.
was going? Just run me through as he scores the try. There's a little voice on the left shoulder and the right shoulder saying, Christian, what about this? No, don't do it, Christian. what was he thinking at the time? We're winning by heaps. He'll love it.
Yeah, he did it on the bench, just doing it. I think it's fantastic.
So do I.
Because he rolls up the crowd.
Yeah.
And he rolls up opposition, but he doesn't. He does not give a rat's ass.
He doesn't give a rat's, does he?
I'm digging him.
Dolphins 30 defeat the Panthers 12. And look, well done to the Dolphins because they've sort of found themselves out of a slum. But that try from Hammer at the end, that was just majestic. How you don't see this from too many players. About 40 metres out from his own goal line, he knows there's still people in front of me, but they're not going to touch me. And he's smiling like a Cheshire cat, Gibbo. And he was just cruising. It's just so good to watch, isn't it?
It'd be a great feeling.
Oh.
Great feeling that you know you're going to score.
40 out from his own line, and then he just trots past him.
I
And
wonder what it feels like.
oh, man, that's so good. What, you're still here? Well, you can see more on the Joel and Fletch socials and catch us live on SEN Radio, you beautiful humans.